Okay, ladies, I know it'll be about another minute or so that it'll do that, but otherwise we get going and I forget. And to be I miss part of it. I know I get caught up in listening and not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so as you're joining, if you haven't already, I'm going to have you gals just little housekeeping for everybody is we need to make sure we mute. Even if you think you're in a quiet room all by your lonesome, I mean, we'll hear shuffling papers, we'll hear everything. So, and sometimes depending on if you're on a speaker, speakerphone or something on your phone, it'll create an echo. We've learned in the recordings, even if it is silent, it creates some sort of like alien echo thing. It's so bizarre. Even though live, we didn't even hear it. So I have to go back in there and just make sure everyone is muted all the time for that. I was like, that's so crazy. When we're live, we didn't even hear that. But we did on the
Yep.
recording part. So
I know
yeah.
exactly what you mean. I don't know what that's all about, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know. I was like, we can't even use that recording. Anyway, okay. So I know more will be joining, but I want to be so appreciative of everybody's time because a lot of you are literally on lunch break. And so I want to make sure that we're honoring that and supporting that. Let me just double check and make sure everyone's muted. Okay, I got it all. Okay. And I'll keep doing that. And as you have consultants or friends or anybody joining in, I'll keep doing that. If you're new to this, if this is your first um joining of us at Lunch and Learn. We love these Lunch and Learns. We're having so much fun. They are recorded. We do post them on YouTube. So the YouTube channel is just Jennifer Enlow. You can go look at all the past ones on Facebook. If you are on social media, just a couple weeks ago, everyone talked me into it. I was fighting and didn't want to do it, but we created a Facebook page and it's actually a picture of Mary Kay Ash in a red dress. That's how you'll know you're on the right Lunch and Learn group. It was like, I don't know, like an anniversary applause magazine or something. So, I will put the recordings there. That's where you can always access the Zoom links, but always know the YouTube. If you have people that maybe aren't on social media, aren't on Facebook, and you want to share it, I will post in all the places I've already been posting normally and in that Facebook group, the recording. And I know a lot of people have been reaching out like, I need that paper, I need that handout that they were talking about. And some of them, you have to remember, some of these recordings are from a year or more ago. And so here's what I tell everybody. If you see something that you like or that you need, I'm going to start putting on Facebook from this point on any additional information that the speakers give me. But if it's past, you might need to reach out to them or ask your director if you're a consultant, or usually us directors can reach, out to whoever was speaking and get the resource, because you're right, on YouTube, you don't get the resource. And that's why we decided to do the Facebook page. Because usually wherever I posted, like if you're in Mary Kay National Area Facebook group, all the stuff is in there. I try to post the links or whatever with the recording so you all have access to that. So I hope you all are having an amazing Thursday. I know many of you are on spring break or on or off or just started or whatever, but we have the amazing Beth May. And I have not had the honor and privilege of meeting Beth in person yet. She came so highly recommended. I'm so excited, Beth, to learn from you. I just want to thank you so much for your go-give heart and being willing to pour into so many women in so many different divisions. And a couple of the directors said they've been having these translated and sent where their gals that are in other countries can get, which is amazing. It's kind of taken on a life of its own. And that's
awesome.
I don't know. So this is truly a go-give thing. So you all have to know, I've not even met Beth. So she's not doing it because she's my bestie. She's doing it because she loves Mary Kay and loves this world and such a go-give heart. And I appreciate you and thank you. Thank you for that. And I know Mary Kay Ash would be so proud of you for doing such a go-give act of kindness for so many. And so Beth, I'm just going to let you take away and I'm going to handle everything on the background.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Well, thank you, Jennifer. The feeling is mutual. I look forward to hopefully meeting you one day on a top director trip or something on stage or something. And I am so, so grateful and honored, like truly, to have been asked and entrusted with this time with all of these women across the U.S. So I do not take it lightly. And I'm excited. I do believe that what I have been given to share with you today is for y'all specifically. So I'm gonna just share for like really quick, like 2 minute elevator eye story, because I know there's a lot of you out there who've never even heard my name, have never seen me, never met me, and maybe never even will this side of heaven. So my name is Beth. I live in the Eastern North Carolina region. So I'm a Southern girl, born and bred. In fact, it's 80 degrees here today. As soon as we finish here, I'm putting on my bathing suit top and going in my backyard and working and making booking calls because I'm like, I love the sunshine. But I've been in Mary Kay for just over 17 years. When I started with Mary Kay, I was a very young 20-something-year-old, just come out of a season of being a single mom, and was living paycheck to paycheck and didn't see any change in the near future at all in my life unless something drastically changed. So someone invited me to a marketing event. I went kicking and screaming, the whole shebang, never thinking that it was going to amount to anything. And the rest of the story kind of starts from there. So I am married to my high school sweetheart. We have an 18-year-old freshman in college. She goes to UNC Chapel Hill and plays volleyball there for them. And then we also have this little nugget that God gave us during COVID, who is napping right now. Y'all pray that she stays napping. She's 2. So we have an 18-year-old daughter, a 2-year-old daughter, and then a baby in heaven that we'll meet one day as well. So our life is probably much like a lot of your all's, fun, full, crazy at times. And I'm so grateful for this Mary Kay opportunity that allows us to morph and change through the seasons of life. I mean, my goodness, like I've been through every phase of life with my Mary Kay business, really and truly. And I know there's more phases to come. And I'm just so grateful for the flexibility. So yeah, I am excited to get to share with you guys. I learned recently, let me just take a look at my time here. Okay. 2:27 latest that we're out here. I learned recently that you speak the most powerfully about what you have learned or what you've experienced or walked through in the last 7 days. And so as I was preparing for you guys today, I'm a preparer. And so when Jennifer asked me some weeks ago, to do this Zoom today, I was already starting to think about, okay, well, what should I share? What do they need? And pray, and Lord, what do they need? I want to give them what they need. I don't just want to like get on and talk. And I really just heard the Lord say, wait. And I'm like, what? Like I'm a preparer. I like to know in advance. But then when I learned that little nugget that you speak the most powerfully about what you've encountered or learned or gone through in the last 7 days, I was like, okay, well now I get it. So what I'm going to share with you today are kind of one overarching concept, and that is the concept of reigniting. And it doesn't really matter where you're at in your business today. If you are a brand spanking new consultant, if you are a Cadillac sales director, if you're a national sales director, if you're a red jacket, if you are building to DIQ, wherever you're at, you may feel like my flames are lit. Like I'm going, I'm doing all the things. My business is the best that it's ever been. Or you may be like, I have embers that are just barely, like in the bottom of a fire pit. We have a fire pit in our backyard, and we love all seasons for like 12 months of the year. We get out there as much as we can. And you know how like when a fire burns down, you have at the very, very bottom, just little coals, and you can see the fire. It's not even fire. I guess it's just embers. I guess it would be called but you can see the red, but there's not even any flames. Anywhere in between those two places, you might even be like, I have ashes. There's nothing in my fire pit right now. Like that's just where I'm at in my business, or in life in general. Wherever you are at on that spectrum though, the word to reignite literally means to burn again. And you can burn again, even if you're already burning, so again, using the analogy of a fire, you can take a fire that's like a very healthy, like flames are going, they're licking, blah, 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 doing all the things. And you can put another log on that and it can get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I just want to encourage you, wherever you're at in your business today, you can take these nuggets of reigniting, of being a fire starter with yourself, like reigniting yourself first, and then to others, wherever you're at in your business. One of my favorite quotes of John Wesley, if you don't know who John Wesley is, he is revivalist. He lived back in the 1700s, and he is credited with much of what led about to the Great Awakening. And whether or not you follow him or believe what he believes spiritually or anything, he has a quote that I just think is incredible. And a lot of you may have heard it before. He says, "Light yourself on fire with passion, and people will come from miles around to watch you burn." Light yourself on fire with passion, and people will come from miles around to watch you burn. Doesn't that just like, that gives me a visual picture of like literally like being this somehow like supernatural person who's just like flaming at the head, and people are just coming to watch. They're coming to see. They might not even understand like what it's all about, but they're like, I have to come see this woman who is lit on fire with passion. Kevin Costner from the movie Field of Dreams might say it also this way: if you build it, they will what? They will come. If you build it, they will come. If you remember the old movie Field of Dreams, love that movie. So reignite. So when we're talking about reigniting in our business, in our life, in our marriages, in our families, and our whatever, there are two concepts, if you will, that I want to talk about. And they both come from the tagline, if you will, do the thing that you would do. See, I think I just had someone ask me to repeat that quote, so I'll repeat it again. It's John Wesley's, "Light yourself on fire with passion, and people will come from miles around to watch you burn." Maybe somebody can type that in the chat. If you like wrote it down, type it in the chat really quick so that people can see it. Light yourself on fire with passion, and people will come from miles around to watch you burn. So there's two concepts that I want to talk to you about from the statement, do the thing that you would do. Okay, do the thing that you would do. And again, this is not my personal, I didn't come up with these statements. This is a lot of what I teach my people. There's so much great information out there, you guys. Like, I just feel like, who needs another great idea, right? Like, you just need to take one of the great millions of great ideas from the past and work with that. So if any of you follow or watch on YouTube or podcasts or whatnot, Stephen Furtick, a lot of what I'm going to share from you is a sermon series of his that I'm working through right now. So do the thing that you would do. What does that mean? Do the thing that you would do. If you're in a place where you either need to be reignited, your team needs to be reignited, your family needs to be reignited, your business needs to be reignited, whatever it might be, do the thing that you would do. The first concept within that is do the thing that you would. Okay, if I was like if I could hold something up in front of you guys without this ring light making it not visible to see, I would put would, WOULD, in all caps. Do the thing that you would do. What does that mean? That means do the thing that you would do if you had more time, if you had more money, if you didn't have children the ages that they are, if you were married, if you weren't married, if you were more fit, if you were in better shape, if you lived in a different area, if you were more technologically savvy, if all the things that we tell ourselves, well, I would do that if, I would do that if, I would do that if. Luke 16:10 says, one who is faithful in a very little is also faithful in much. And one who is dishonest in very little is also dishonest in much. So I want to ask you, ladies, is there possibly an area in your life that you're being dishonest with yourself? Are you telling yourself that you can't do fill in the blank because fill in the blank, when really all God requires of you is to put forth what you can in that moment? So let me just give you like total transparency, give you, an example. When I had a baby at almost 40, and all of a sudden I found myself in a completely different phase of my life, going from having a full work day of pretty much work day, dropping my daughter off at school and being able to work like 8 to 3 and then doing homework and stuff in the afternoon and having I had a lot of hours in the day that I could dedicate to my business. All of a sudden I found myself in a different season of life again that I was in 18 years prior or 16 years prior, where I have a baby, I'm nursing, I'm doing this, I'm doing nap time and doing this, that, and the other. And what I told myself in that time period, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, was like, I would, I'm just going to be totally transparent with you guys this morning or this afternoon. I would do the trip again as a top trip director, but I have a toddler right now. I would do $500,000 again, but right now, this circle of achievement is okay. That circle of achievement is okay. Now, hear me out, you guys. I'm not putting a label on anything. I know that there are people from every different area of the career path on here. So I'm just telling you what my I would statement it was, okay? Was, not is, okay? Because I'm not living in that anymore. But I think we all have that. Like we all have those things. Another one that I told myself was like, I mean, I've always been like someone who's really, I love to sweat. Like I just love it. I love to go hard in the gym. I love to, not necessarily a runner, but I truly enjoy working out, sweating. Like, we're like a very active family. Again, when I had a baby at almost 40, I went for almost 2 years of doing zero, like nothing, no physical activity. And what I was telling myself is I would be in the gym more, but again, my schedule doesn't allow it right now. I can't get up in the morning. I can't do this. I'm with her. I'm doing blah, 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 blah. But really all that God was requiring of me is to do what I could. I had a mentor, Mary Kay, one time who used to say, yeah, it's not like I would if I could, it's you could if you would. And she was talking about like more like team building and stuff. And people say, oh, I would if I could. And she's like, no, you could if you would. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so good. That is so good. So what is the thing? What is the thing that you would do if you blah, 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 blah? And just do that little thing, you guys. So maybe you can't get in the gym for an hour right now, like you used to be able to, but maybe you can get in like a 15-minute walk. And that's you being faithful with the little. And when you're faithful with the little, God is going to entrust you with much. When you're honest in the little, God is going to entrust you with much. Maybe you're in a season of life where you don't have a thriving 30, 40, 50 people coming to your unit meeting as a sales director like you did before the pandemic. Are you being faithful to just go with the 5? Are you showing up every single week with the 5 that you have that show up, that are hungry for your knowledge, that are hungry for what you have to give them, that are wanting to build their business? I know I got so convicted of that, like during the pandemic, because we, again, prior to the pandemic, we have a beautiful studio here and we would run weekly meetings with 25 plus guests, 25 plus consultants. I mean, it was like hot and popping, y'all. And then all of a sudden, through the pandemic, all the different things, blah, 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 blah. And I heard the Lord say to me, like, Beth, are you going to be faithful with the few like you were faithful with the many? And I was so convicted, you guys. I mean, I was like, and because I wasn't being faithful with the few, but I am now, and have been since you called me to that. Okay, so do the thing that you would do. Okay, so the second part of this statement here that we're going to focus on, we're going to put the emphasis on a different word in that statement. Do the thing that you would do. That you, that person, that Beth, that Jennifer, that Laura, that Sandra. There are at least you guys, 2 versions of yourself sitting here watching this video right now. Okay. There might be more than that, but that's a different conversation for someone who's far more educated and equipped to deal with that. But no, seriously, we all have at least 2 versions of ourselves. We have our powerful self and we have our pitiful self. So that you, that person, that girl, it might have been a really long time, you guys, since you've seen her. You might have to go back into the archives of your memory to actually be able to find her, to see her. But I would submit to you that if you look for her, you will find her. Maybe you see a glimpse of her every now and then when you're with your consultants or your team or your customers or your husband or your kids or your church or your girlfriends or whatever. And you're like, wow, I miss that powerful Beth. I miss her. I remember her. I remember how she thought. I remember the effort that she put forward. I remember how she showed up, not just showing up. I remember how she showed up. She showed up in a different way than what I'm showing up today. So do the thing that you would do. What when you remember, when you find her, when you think back and you find her, think of what did that girl do when you were at your absolute happiest, when you were at your most successful, your best year that you've ever had in Mary Kay, or if you're brand new in Mary Kay, your best day, your best week, your best month. What did that girl do that the other girl is maybe not willing to do, or is afraid to do, or is, for whatever reason, like the lies that we tell ourselves, is not doing for one reason or another. So do the thing that you would do. Let me give myself a quick time check. Okay, got about 5 more minutes here. All right. So just to kind of recap, and then I'm going to give you some practical things here right here at the end. So we're talking about reigniting, okay? And the statement is, do the thing that you would do. There's 2 parts of that. Do the thing that you would do if, fill in the blank, and do the thing that you, not this you over here, but that you, the one that you want to be, the one that you're proud of, the one that you want your kids to talk about, the one that you want when you're gone from this earth, that you want people to talk about, saying, I remember that Jennifer. I remember how she poured her heart and soul into every person that came into her way. I remember how she made people feel so important. She lived her life like people that she came into contact with had a sign around their neck that said, make me feel important. That you do the thing that you would do. Okay. I'm going to give you these 4 quick S's of success. If somebody wants to just type these in the chat as we're going, that would be great. And that way, again, people can just see them and come back and look at them through the notes after this is this recorded. These are the 4 S's of success from Senior National Sales Director Dawn Dunn. She is just a giant in my mind. I absolutely adore her. And not only was she a $1 million director as a sales director for several years running, she ran her $1 million business with 4 children under the age of 5, you guys. 4 children under the age of 5. Now, I have no idea what that looks like because I have only parented 2 on this earth, but I know what it's like to parent 2. And even if you're not a mom out there watching, I think that we all as women can appreciate having 4 children under the age of 5, even if you've never even had a child before. All right, so the 4 S's of success. The first one is your self-talk. Self-talk, that's your attitude. What are you telling yourself? What are you reading? What are you feeding yourself? What are you reading? What are you feeding yourself? What are you listening to? What are you hearing? Who are you talking to? Who are you sharing with? Are you casting your pearls before swine, or are you sharing with people who are going to sharpen you? I think we all like to throw that quote around, that Bible verse around, like, oh, iron sharpens iron. As a friend sharpens the countenance of a friend. One of the things I always tell my consultants is, y'all, if we're being real about this, sharpening a tool does not feel good. It doesn't. Like if I had a knife here and I were like sharpening it, that would not feel good to that knife if that knife had feelings, but it makes it effective and it makes it able to do its job. So be willing to be accountable with your national sales director, your director, your recruiter, your accountability partner, whomever that may be. So self-talk, number 1. Skills, number 2. The skills of what we do in Mary Kay are very, very simple, you guys, but we do need to be masters of those skills if we want to be professional beauty consultants, professional sales directors, professional national sales directors. Don't we want to project the image of Mary Kay Cosmetics that Mary Kay Ash herself would be so proud of? That even if you're watching this video right now and you're like, I'm just a consultant, I don't really have a desire to be a sales director, I just work my business 5 hours a week. You be the best 5-hour-a-week consultant that you possibly can. Our products, our marketing plan, just in case someone comes your way who's like, I do want to make this a full-time career. I want that pink Cadillac. I want that six-figure income, all the other things. So skills number 2, you need to know how to sell our product and how to sell our opportunity. Okay. Number 3 is your schedule. Number 3 is your schedule. One of the things that Dawn says is, if you don't tell time where to go, you will always wonder where it went. If you don't tell time where to go, you will always wonder where it went. Y'all, I missed when Mary Kay stopped selling our little $3 planner. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm so sad because I love that little thing. And so one of my unit members found this. I'm not promoting this, you guys. This is just the planner that I love. It's from creativesprinkles.com. And it is like almost exactly like our planner that Mary Kay used to sell us, and it's just the best for me. Okay, for me, I'm not promoting. I know everyone needs their own planner, but you need something. You need to use that weekly plan sheet, you guys. That has not changed. 60 years and running, that thing is absolutely so peace-giving. I can tell you that from experience. There have been seasons of my life where I did not tell time where to go, and I always wondered where it went. And then there have been seasons of my life and my business where I have told time, this is where you're going. I get so much done, you guys, so much done, not just in my business, in my life. So if you want peace, if you want harmony, if you want balance, use the weekly plan sheet. If things are going about 70 to 80% as you have it planned on your plan sheet, it's going well. It's not going to go 100% of the time like it is, but if 70 to 80% of your time is going where you're telling it to go, you're winning. And then the last one is your systems. Self-talk, skills, schedule, systems. What is a system? A system is anything that works for you so you don't have to work for it. I love making my bug list. What is bugging me in my life? What am I doing with my time that brings me zero joy? I absolutely don't need to be doing. Someone else can do it. It doesn't matter. And then making an extermination list right beside this. Okay, this is your bug list, your extermination list. How am I going to fix this thing that is bugging me so much? One more quote, you guys. I know I'm a quote girl. Like, I'm such a nerdy quote girl. I hear nuggets that people give me, and I'm just like, that I can remember. I can remember that cute little quote. This is from a sales director girlfriend of mine who lives in another state. I can't even think of her name right now, but she says, there is a solution for every frustration in your life. Every frustration. We're talking dinner, messy house, marriage, like business, time, customer phone calls, whatever. There's a solution for every frustration in your life. There is a price tag connected to that solution, but the price tag on the solution is always less than the price tag on the frustration. There's a solution to every frustration in your life. That solution has a price tag, but the price tag on the solution is always less than the price tag on the frustration. All right, you guys, I think I'm out of time. Oh, yay, right on the dot, 2:27. Okay, great. Thank you guys so much for your time. I guess I'm handing this back over to Jennifer now.
Yes.
Are you out there, girly?
Yes, I am. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I loved all that. And I put that in the chat so you all will have that. And thank you, Bridget, for putting those quotes in there. Beth, that was phenomenal. I love all your quotes. So didn't mind them one bit. I think that's encouraging, and it gives people a different perspective on things. Did anybody we have a couple, like 2 minutes. Anybody have a question for Beth or anything you want to say to Beth to affirm her or your takeaway? I always want to open it up for that.
I do. Hi, this is Bridget Igley. I don't have my curtains closed, so I look like I'm faded away over here. But I just want to thank you. This was great. Would you repeat that very last one again? Because that was powerful. There's a solution for every frustration in your life.
Mm-hmm. Every solution has a price tag. Every solution has a price, but the price of the solution is always less. The price of the solution is always less than the price of the frustration.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you,
That's
Bridget.
one I'm going to have to mull over. Thank you.
It's good. There's a lot in there.
Absolutely. Did anybody else have anything before we go?
This was great. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridget.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. It was amazing. I appreciate you.
You're so welcome.
Yes. Thank you again, Beth, for your heart, your inspiration, and sharing so much with all of us and taking your time in your busy schedule. And all of you for joining on our Lunch and Learn. I love having all of you. I love seeing new faces. And we'll get this. I tell everybody, you have to wait about 24 hours because my office girl isn't in on Thursdays. But she does them for me sometimes at night or first thing on Friday morning. But we get them out. And so the recording will be out there that feel free to share with everybody. Come back every Thursday. We don't have one next week. Just know that because I'm on spring break. So I'm taking a little vacay. But then we'll start back again in April and we'll have all that information out for you on the Facebook group and all the other places I post it for everybody. So have an amazing Thursday and a great month end.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.